Man, this is just the best. I love it. And they managed to get it in here. I assume they flew it in. One of the last things that's going to be electrified is flight. We know this. It's very difficult to get enough power in a light enough thing to defy gravity. And we're not defying it. We're just obeying the laws of physics as we understand them. So we're going to have a quick look at this little baby right here. This is the actual flight that you can actually take your actual self. I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Ozai. So what we're looking at here is a real plane. This is an actual plane.
This is an actual plane.
And you are Mike,
yeah,
from Sealand E-Flight.
That's right. Yeah, we're at flight school on Vancouver Island, and this is our new Pipistrel Velis Electro. Pipistrel is a aircraft manufacturer in Europe, and this is one of several actually electric airplane models that they've created. And it's
first of all, work of art.
Yeah,
it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's walk up and look at the drivetrain. So we're looking at the motor here. Oh, look at that! It just yes.
Yeah, there's our charging port. It's a European Type EV charger. This is our 64 kilowatt motor.
Wow.
We've got a DC to AC inverter there. And then just behind the firewall is one of our batteries. We've got the second one behind the pilots there for balance. They weigh about 200 pounds, 400 volts, and together they're about 25 kilowatt hour batteries.
Okay, so only 400 pounds, yet as much juice as a Gen 1 Leaf. Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. And I have it on good authority, and correct me if I'm wrong, batteries are still getting lighter.
Yeah.
Which means in the future this will either still weigh 400 pounds but with more range.
Absolutely.
Or it'll weigh less.
This aircraft started being designed in 2015, 2016, and so that's kind of where the technology comes from. It was fully certified. It's actually the world's very first certified electric airplane.
Is it?
Yeah, and that happened in 2019. And there's now 130 of this type of airplane flying around the world. And this is the first one in Canada that's been approved for commercial operations, so for hire purposes.
So someone can hire you to take them on a quick scenic flight.
Absolutely. We do scenic flights, intro flights, flight training for new students. We're bringing new students up to the solo stage of their training.
Flight training. So let's take a look at the cockpit here.
Absolutely.
And again, actually, we'll look at the body here first because this is just beautiful. What are we doing? Carbon fiber?
Yep, all carbon fiber composites.
Carbon fiber.
Some love it, they embrace it, they're all in. Others are nervous. They're nervous about range anxiety.
Wow.
Example, they have two trucks.
So yeah, I can see some carbon from here.
Mm-hmm.
The electronics have surely gotten lighter over the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And that all helps.
Yeah, and so this is our electronic propulsion system information. Shows everything to do with the power plant. And so in the electric airplane, all of our power settings are based off of the kilowattage of the motor. It's max kilowattage is 64 kilowatts. There's also RPM, revolutions per minute of the propeller. We've got battery status here. They're both at 100% right now, both that front battery and the rear battery that we saw. When the batteries are enabled here, which I can do, you'll hear the liquid coolant pump start running there.
Oh.
So the batteries, the motor, the inverter, all liquid cooled to solve any cooling problems, really. And there's redundancy built into those systems. And then it will actually calculate a remaining flight time. This is kind of just a random number since there's actually no power being delivered to the motor at the moment. We have temperatures for the batteries, inverter, and motor here. And then...
and so it's not just a fuel gauge in terms of percentage, but a reasonable estimate of minutes. So that...
Which will vary too, it'll fluctuate.
Sure.
So this is, if
you're doing a lot of climbing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're bringing someone up to a mountain versus coming back to the sea level.
Yeah, so when you start descending, you basically bring the power back to zero, and then this doesn't go down anymore like that.
Right.
When you're coming into land, it's the same thing. It's a highly efficient design of an airplane where it's meant to basically be able to fly with as little power as possible.
What's the stall speed? It's got nice big wings.
It is about 46. Oh yeah, right there. 46 with flaps down, 53 with flaps up.
knots.
Yes, sir.
That's nice and slow, which means that like any aircraft, there can be a loss of power with these nice big wings and that nice low stall speed.
Yeah.
The odds of getting
in the glide ratio too, right? When you look at
Yeah.
these wings, they're much longer and skinnier than traditional aircraft wings. So it's got a glide ratio of 15-1, meaning that it will glide 15 feet for every foot that it loses.
right. So if you're at 1,000 feet, you can glide 3 miles. Yeah, that's fantastic. So that and what kind of altitude would you normally be at?
Most of our training flights are around 3,000 to 4,000 feet or so. If we're practicing, continuous landings, we're only going up to about 1,000 feet or so. Then coming back down for the circuit pattern.
Now this is a lot of fun. This looks like an exciting adventure. If a random person who is over 18, I assume, wishes to have a hand on the stick, they can come to you for classes.
That's right. Yeah, and actually there is no age restriction. So you can get a private pilot's license at age 17, and you can get a recreational license at 16. You can actually solo an airplane for the first time when you're 14. So the age limits are actually quite low.
Generous.
Yeah, and we do introductory flights, discovery flights, scenic flights, and then flight training.
Wow. So what I'm telling you folks at home is, not only is this real, and not only can you take a flight in it, but if you so desire, you can fly it. You can learn to and to take the stick, which is very exciting and a lot of fun. How much is a scenic flight these days?
We charge $200 an hour plus pilot, but however we can't go flying for an hour. So.
And that's 200 Canadian, so with the exchange rate, it might be more favorable depending on which country you're exchanging to and from. And let's talk about the aircraft a little more. What?
It's all carbon fiber composites. Various
It is so
types of
beautiful.
composites. Yeah.
And it is very neatly constructed. Antifreeze for the cooling, I guess, for the thermal management. And then, even the window. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
That is
when
just
the doors are
gorgeous.
closed, check this out.
Yeah, let's see what the doors
Compared to some other aircraft with smaller windows and stuff, like the door is all plexiglass, right? So you can imagine your head's up here, and you can see everything down below you. The visibility is just beautiful.
Without wind, what is the range on something like this?
Probably about 60 nautical miles or so. We're not
And-
going very far though because of charging availability. We have one charger in Campbell River, and we're working on, as a school, developing more charging infrastructure at local airports that we can fly the airplane around. But at the moment,
Sure.
we're staying pretty close to home.
Sure. So you're close to Campbell River.
That's right.
And that's where, but how long is that in duration? What's an
About
average?
45 minutes is what we're
That's
averaging.
fantastic.
Yep. And that allows us to have a reserve as well too. So in aviation,
Sure.
we're always required to have like a contingency, and so that's with our mandated.
That is fantastic. So this plane, that means that even today and I'm going to say today's technology, but really this had to be built. So this isn't even today's
Certified
technology.
and- yeah.
This means that in coming years, that range is just going to get longer and longer. There's not much room to cut weight in other ways. We're already down to carbon fiber and, I assume aluminum and plexiglass. But it is pretty fantastic and a work of art. Is there anything I'm forgetting to ask?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Very cool. Well, guys, in the comments, would you fly it? Would you want to fly it? And when are you going to fly it?
Yeah,
Because
come fly.
those are the questions. Man, this is just the best. I love it. And they managed to get it in here. I assume they flew it in. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Everybody else, like, subscribe, you know what you're doing, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots in the sky.